All right, do you guys hear me?
Yes.
All right, guys, we're going to answer scene 6. I'm sorry I was muted. And again, number one, what date was it? It was Christmas Day. The spirits visited Scrooge on over the course of one night. Just remember that. Okay, now we're gonna move on to question number two. What does Scrooge ask the boy to do? He meets a little boy. When he opens up the window, he sees a little boy walking. Kareem, can you please help me with this question? What does he ask the boy to do?
Can you say the question again because your voice?
We are answering question number two. What does Scrooge ask the boy to do? And what does Scrooge offer the boy? This is scene 6. Remember, this is the scene where Scrooge changes. This is the last scene where we see how Scrooge transforms from this, greedy man to this loving, kind spirit. Does anyone remember what does he ask the boy to do? How about Muhammad?
He tells him to go and buy a big turkey, and the boy says one that's bigger than me. He said yes, and he told him if he came with it, he will give him a shilling, and if came back less than 2 minutes, he will give him a half a crown.
Good job. Perfect. Okay, so it's actually one of your vocab words where he offers him or he asks him to go to the poultry. And we agreed that the poultry is the place that is responsible for selling chickens and turkeys and so on. Okay, so he asks the boy to go to the poultry to buy the big prize or the prize turkey. And we said the prize turkey is like the one that you got, like you just said, yeah, Muhammad. It's the one that is the boy says it's big as me or even bigger than me. Okay, and a shilling if he could just go get it, and he would offer him even more money if he could do it faster. Okay, to get the errands and done quickly. All right. And does he make the boy carry it home or carry it to Cratchit? Or how is he sympathetic towards him, even the boy? He tells the boy what, Muhammad?
He tells him to come with a butcher that has a turkey, and let them both and go and give it to Mr. Bob Cratchit.
Right. Are they going to carry it?
No, they are gonna be in a car with.
Exactly. He says that he feels bad for the boy to carry such a heavy turkey by himself. So he tells the boy that he could take a taxi. All right. And here he says it's twice the size of Tiny Tim, and it will make such a good Christmas dinner for the Cratchit's family. All right. He says here the boy and the butcher ran in with the turkey, and he's happy that they're back fast. And he says, well, you can't carry that way all to Cratchit's house in Camden. All right. So he tells him, here's your half of a crown, and here's the address in Camden Town. See that he gets there. Here, money for the cab. All right. So here we see, Scrooge is not only giving to the Cratchit's family, but he's also considerate. And this is different than he was. He didn't care before about how other people felt or the suffering of other people. So now he's very considerate of how that little young boy might feel carrying such a heavy turkey. Okay? So he gave him money for running the errand and getting the errand done quickly. He also offers the boy money to take a cab or a taxi. A cab is a taxi. Along with the butcher, because the turkey is too heavy to carry to Camden Town. And remember, Camden Town is where Cratchit lives. I'm going to put that. We need to know it just in case we see it as an MCQ or a multiple choice question. All right, it's right here. What does Scrooge plan to do with the turkey? We already know that. Who could help us again? Restate it. How about Joanna? Jojo, can you tell us what does he plan to do with the turkey? Scrooge.
Yes,
I can't hear you.
yes,
Waleed, are you saying something?
yes, I can hear you.
Is my voice now better?
Yes,
Okay. Warda, can you please tell us?
He's gonna send it to Bob Cratchit as an apology for his recent actions.
Good, yes. Right. He wants to send the turkey to Bob Cratchit's house. Good. Okay, we can consider it definitely as an apology for for all the mistreatments that he has, shown Bob Cratchit, and also he wants to offer it as a good Christmas dinner to make up for anything bad that he might have done for them. Good. Okay. So, what does Scrooge plan to do with the turkey? He plans to send it to Bob Cratchit's house. As a way of for any mistreatment and he wants to offer the Cratchits a good Christmas dinner. How is Scrooge feeling? When he wakes up this morning, we see that he's definitely in a different mood. His mood is not the same as scene one. Okay, how is his mood like? How would you describe his mood? Who could help me? Okay, Tala?
He was happier than every day.
Definitely. We see him, he's definitely more cheerful. Okay, he wakes up in a cheerful mood. That's very unlikely for him. What is your evidence? What does he do that shows his cheerfulness, his happiness? First of all, we see that he starts to greet to greet people. All right, he starts to say "Merry Christmas." He talks very kindly and very friendly with the boy. He's very friendly to the boy and says Merry Christmas repeatedly. All right, showing that his attitude. All right, he admits that he's a changed man and will honor Christmas all year round. He also mentions when he wakes up, he says that he wants to get dressed. What does he want to wear? His choice of dressing. He says he was looking for his China silk shirt because he wants to make sure that he's dressed in his best appearance. Okay, so we can also see that he has a different attitude. Okay. All right, so again here overall, this is his mood and these are your evidence. Number 5, compare Scrooge's encounter with the gentleman visitor in the scene and compare it to the scene 1. When he encounters the gentleman visitor in this scene, how does he treat him? And what does he give him? How about Marwa?
Miss, can I answer?
Yes.
Okay, sure.
In the beginning, he yells at him and makes fun of him and tells him to leave. But in the second time, he tells him Merry Christmas and tells him that he wants to that he wants to help children.
Exactly. All right. So in the when he encounters the gentleman visitor, we see that in this scene he acts very first he tells him, "My dear sir, I hope you succeeded yesterday. It was very kind of you to stop by and see me." So he was very kind to him and very, I would say, welcoming. Okay, that it even shocked the gentleman visitor because the gentleman visitor says, "Mr. Scrooge," in disbelief. Okay, so it's like he can't believe that this is actually Scrooge speaking to him. Okay, so it kind of like he doesn't believe that this is actually his attitude. Okay, because again he remembers him from scene 1. All right, so he welcomes the gentleman visitor. All right, and we could tell here the gentleman visitor is in disbelief. Okay, he doesn't believe that this is actually Scrooge speaking to him. What does he give the gentleman visitor, Tala?
I don't know.
What does he throw at him? He throws at him a purse, he says, that is full of money. Okay? And he tells the gentleman visitor, he tells him, "This is your payments. And here, this is not only payments for this Christmas, but I'm paying you from all the previous Christmases that I failed to donate through." Okay, so he's basically giving him money for all the other Christmas past events where he should have gave and he didn't. Okay, so it was a large sum of money to the point that the gentleman visitor says, "Mr. Scrooge, are you serious?" And he says, "Yes, I need you to accept this and not a penny less." Okay, so he throws a purse full of money as a payment for all the past years. And what does he tell him to do? He tells him, you know, this is no, here he says, come and see me. Will you come and see me? What is it showing? It's showing that Scrooge does not want to end it here. This is not going to be his last time donating, but he wants to make it a habit. He wants the gentleman visitor to continue visiting him so that he can continue giving. All right? So we can see here that Scrooge asks the gentleman visitor to continue to visit him, showing his willingness to continue giving. All right, he doesn't want to end it here. He wants to make that as a habit of generosity. Where does Scrooge go to at the end of the play? Who could tell me? How about Mark? Mark, can you tell us where Scrooge goes at the end of the play? How about Abdurrahman Sobh?
Yes.
Can you please tell us where Scrooge goes at the end of the play? I can't hear you.
I don't know.
You don't know where Scrooge goes at the end of the play?
No.
Okay, who can help us? Marwa? How about Dahrouk? Yusuf? Go ahead, Yusuf, I hear you.
He goes to, or he hopes that he sees the Cratchit again.
He doesn't go to Cratchit. He only sends him a turkey. But at the end of the play, he directs himself to a he takes himself to someone's house
Miss, can
for a
I say
Christmas
who?
dinner. Yes,
Fred's house.
good. All right. He goes to Fred's house. All right, for a Christmas dinner. The same Christmas dinner that he was invited to in the beginning of the play. All right. And how does the play end? Scrooge is gathered with all the staff, with all the members of the cast. All right, and they're all gathered, and they all say, they all sing, and you know, a joy to the world. And the Cratchits are there. Tiny Tim is there, and remember that Tiny Tim is actually being carried by Scrooge. And Scrooge, Tiny Tim, his very famous way to end the play, he says, God bless us, everyone. Okay, so the play ends. The play ends with Scrooge gathered with Fred, and the Cratchits are there. He carries Tiny Tim on his shoulders, and they all sing Joy to the World, which is a Christmas song. And Tiny Tim says, God bless. And this is how it ends. Now, who could tell me what is a theme? First of all, what does the word theme mean? Who could tell me the word definition of the word theme? What is a theme? What?
The moral of a story.
Exactly. So who could tell me? As what just said, the theme is the moral. What did we learn, or what can we learn from A Christmas Carol? How about Adam? Fahla? Al-Fahla, please, can you please tell me? What is one thing that we
To not be to give people money if they want and donate.
exactly? All right, to help the needy. All right, to help the needy and those in need of and those in destitute or poverty. Okay, to be giving. To be giving and compassionate with others. All right. Any other themes that we can learn? Kareem?
Changing to the better always makes life happier and better.
Good job. All right. Do not settle for who you are. If you have any problems in your personality, or if you feel that there's room to be a better person, to go for it. Okay. There's no problem with change. Okay. So change is a good thing. Okay. Always aim to be a better person. Okay, just like Scrooge did. All right, it took him, to learn from his past, to learn from his present, and to even learn from the future, to help him make the correct decision and push him to becoming a better him. Okay, so this is definitely something that we could learn from. Any other thing? Change is a good thing. Always aim to be a better person, um, and a better version of yourself. Any other themes? What do you have a theme that you want to share with us?
That greed will never lead you to any place that is good.
Greed, right? Greed will not result in positive consequences. All right, we saw that greed will take you to all the wrong places. All right, you will be disliked. You will not be a happy person overall. All right, so greed is not the way to go. All right, so these again our answers for chapter 5 and 6 study guide answers. So be prepared for Sunday, inshallah. Do you guys have any quizzes on Sunday?
No.
All right, perfect. All right. See.
Miss, when is the project deadline?
I'm gonna discuss the project right now. Okay, when we discuss the project, or when I made the video to discuss the project, I want you to again listen to me again when I discuss it now. All right, so for grade 7, you guys have, remember we're doing a new play that I'm going to start discussing next week because tomorrow's off. All right, so next week, inshallah, I'm going to discuss the new play with you more in depth after the quiz, inshallah. So here you guys have a project. The first part of your project is a writing assignment, and this writing assignment is basically is an essay, and this kind of essay is a compare and contrast essay. And a compare and contrast essay is usually meant to do what? To discuss the differences and the similarities between two things. Now, the title of this essay is You versus Who. And remember, your two projects are related to the novel because, like you guys know, we're ending the novel by the end of this term. And remember, this term is prolonged all the way to January 28th. Okay, so I believe that January 28th is going to be the last day of the term. So as per that, we're going to schedule the deadlines for these for these projects. One project and one writing assignment. Overall, for this year, you guys wrote the letter for Annabelle Lee. That was your first writing assignment. And the second writing assignment is going to be your compare and contrast essay. For those who did not submit their letters as Annabelle Lee or as Jimmy Valentine, I kindly suggest that you take a picture of them if you wrote them and send it to me, or email me if you wrote them or typed them, either one. I do have some hard copies, but if you have any doubt that you have not submitted, please do so because you're graded on 2 writing assignments this year. All right, this is one of them. And the other one is the letter that I told you to do as Jimmy Valentine or Annabelle Lee. We discussed it. Okay, so for this one, you are going to compare yourself to any character from the novel The Outsiders. Remember, the Outsiders are all teenagers, and most of them are. I understand that I know that most of them are boys, and some of you guys could find it like, especially the ladies. But I'm not telling you to compare only with looks. I'm telling you to compare, or I'm asking you to compare a more personality and lifestyle and so on. All right. And you guys will find the differences are more than the similarities. We can find a few similarities though. Okay. So before we do anything, I want you to relate yourself to the character from the novel. All right. Some of you chose Pony Boy. We know a lot about him, but we also know a lot about the other characters. So please don't only focus on Pony Boy. You can also choose others. All right, so this is your total freedom to express your own identity. You're encouraged to analyze the character and yourself and compare and contrast your identities. When I say compare, I'm saying to point out the similarities. And when I say contrast, I'm telling you to point out the differences. Now, the things that you need to submit is a Venn diagram. And I posted it right here. If you guys look at this, this is the Venn diagram sheet. The Venn diagram is a great way to compare differences and similarities. Here you put your name, and here you put the character's name. This is your own personalities and your features. This is the character's own personalities and features. And in the overlapping area, you're putting the similarities between you two. Please do not focus only on the physical appearance, muscles, or looks or age. Okay? Focus on lifestyle. Focus on personality, what the character says, what the character does, how the character carries themselves. So I added something else that I need you also to do. I'm going to require you guys to answer or to fill out a character trait graphic organizer. This is my way of ensuring that you are studying your character very well. Okay, so again, one of the things that you must submit that I'm going to add that I need you to be aware of is your character trait graphic organizer.
Miss,
This is
will
one thing
you
that you
put
also must submit along with the Venn diagram. Now, before you submit the Venn diagram, and if some of you guys already did, which is fine, but I need you to go back and I need you to do a good character trait graphic organizer. Here you're going to put your character's name. So if you chose Pony Boy, you're going to put Pony Boy. I want you to tell me how he acts. How does he feel? All right. So from how he feels, we can tell that he's unhappy with his life. He's not happy with his lifestyle. He doesn't want to be a hood. Okay. You can relate to this. All right. Like how? You can say, for example, this could be a difference. He's unhappy with his lifestyle. All right. He grew up to find that his parents are not there. Okay. But on the other hand, you might say, I'm happy with my life. I'm getting an education. I'm happy where I am. So this is okay. This is feelings. Explore the character's feelings because that could be similarities or it could be differences. What does the character say? Okay, your way of speaking is different from his way of speaking. Okay, considering of course his setting and all the slang that they use, you can mention that. How does your character act? Okay, is he, is there anything similar between you? Okay, he gets into rumbles. He is craving to be mature. Do you guys have the same feelings? As a boy, are you interested in shaving? Do you want to feel mature? Do you feel that you need to prove to someone that you are grown enough that you don't need to be sheltered constantly? Maybe you're going through the same struggle. So this is what I want you to focus on. Focus on their lives. All right, they're part of a gang. They are the poor social class. If you chose a greaser, okay. So are you living in the same living conditions? Of course not. Okay, so that could be a difference. Your looks, okay. Are you the same age? Do you dress the same? Do you have the same hair? Okay, so I remember Mark, he mentioned that his hair is not the same. He doesn't have the long hair that the greasers do have. He doesn't use grease on his hair. Okay, so you can mention these things. And their looks don't only stop at the hair, the greaser, the way they dress, their age. Okay, if you're doing dairy, we know that he has a lot of physical strength. So all these things are very important. Other actions you guys can focus on, how, for example, they make other people feel, all right, or how other people feel about them. So please, I need you to do this character trait graphic organizer over the weekend. So you have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to submit two things that I want you to submit. I want you to submit the graphic organizer where you study and analyze your character very well. Okay. And then after you're done with the graphic organizer, the character trait one, then you can also conduct your Venn diagram. When you're done with this, you can take on and move on to writing your essay. Now, your essay is going to be divided into 5 paragraphs. I'm going to make you guys understand the division of the 5 paragraphs on Sunday after the quiz. Okay, so after you take the quiz for one session, we have another session. We're going to sit and we're going to discuss how to conduct a compare and contrast essay. Okay, so hold
Miss,
off. If you wrote a rough draft, that's fine. Remember, this is only a rough draft. And a rough draft means this is the one that we're doing free writing. We can do any mistakes that we want. We can just write freely. But your final draft has to follow all the rules that I'm going to list on Sunday. Okay? Any questions regarding the compare and contrast essay? So let's take it one step at a time. You're going to compare yourself, your identity, your feelings, your living conditions, your personality, your looks to a character from the outsiders. Before you do anything, please complete the character trait graphic organizer where you analyze and study your character very well in their behavior, in their feelings, in what they say, in how they look, and their living conditions, and how others feel about them. Okay, explore your character very well. And then take all this information and compare it to yourself. Okay, can I relate to his actions? Can I relate to the character's feelings? Do I speak or say the same things that the character says? Are my living conditions similar or different? Are my looks similar or different? Then you can move on to conducting your Venn diagram, where you list all the similarities and the differences. Please submit those two things by Sunday. Okay, I'm going to put that on the weekly plan as a reminder for you for next week.
Miss,
We only
where
have
do
a
we
minute
find
left.
the
Yes?
Miss, what do we find the
On SMS. Okay?
okay?
Alrighty. So I'm gonna go on SMS where you find the sheet, where you find your project, and I'm going to put here character.
Miss,
Yes.
when is the deadline of the essay?
Again, let's take it one step at a time. I'm not giving due dates yet because I need to look at the calendar to see where this term is gonna end, and I'm going to set my deadlines. First of all, I'm gonna ask you for a rough draft before we do anything. So Sunday, I'm gonna give you a due date for the rough draft. And then after you submit your draft drafts, I'm gonna give you a due date for your final assignment. Okay, does that explain?
Okay.
Miss,
Okay.
how can we work in groups? You made it
I'm gonna
up?
tell you right now, for your other projects, I recommend you guys to do something that could allow you to send information